Auckland is on the cusp of an emergency water crisis as it stares down the barrel of the region's worst drought in 25 years, with reservoirs at just 43%. The Auckland Council is scrambling to secure extra water sources as it continues to plead with Aucklanders to conserve water inside their homes. It's a race against time as region's water reservoirs continue to dry out, and with no significant rainfall in sight, time is running out. This from Anneke Smith and cameraman Simon Rogers.
Driving through the rolling hills of Honua, you'd never guess the region was in the grip of a severe drought. The landscape is green, bright grass covering farmland, but things are very different beneath the surface. Local farmers Bruce and Dot Chipman meet me on their neighbour David Hurl's back deck for a cup of tea and some ginger nuts. The Chipman family celebrated 100 years on their farm last year. Bruce and Dot have carried on a tradition of keeping handwritten rain records in vintage stationery books.
Okay, yes, so the record started in 62, and of course, it was points and inches, so daily records there of the rain, with comment on what the weather was like each day.
Light shower.
Yeah, light fog, heavy dew.
Mist,
fine.
frost.
Yeah, showers each day, fine and cloudy.
In the Chipman's 60 years' worth of records, annual rainfall in the region has only dipped below 1,000 millimetres 5 times. The first in 1982, then 83, and a decade later in 1993. Annual rainfall was also less than 1,000 millimetres last year, and this year is tracking to be the same.
The last 12 months till the beginning of June was 966 mils. Our average is 1,300. The year prior to that was in the 900 mils as well, so we've got 2 years of extremely dry weather.
This year's dry spell is made all the more serious because, according to the Chipman's records, the Honua region missed out on about 350 millimetres of rainfall last year. And while the odd bit of rainfall over the past month means pastures now look green, the earth itself is bone dry. David Hurl shows me a photograph of what the locally renowned Porcupine Hill looked like in February. It's a lot drier there, isn't it?
Well, look at this. You know, if you were a cow, you'd look at me and say, "You've got to be kidding, David. I can't. There's nothing for me there to eat."
30 minutes up the road, the walls of the upper Mangatangi Dam are dry and exposed. It's one of 9 water storage reservoirs in the Waitakere and Honua ranges that supply about 60% of Auckland's water. This week, they dropped to a record low of 43% full. If you're watching this story, at this time of the year, the water should ideally be up to this tree line. Much has been said about just how serious this is for the wider region, but James Talbot from Watercare puts it best. As operations controller for the Honua Headworks, he's on the ground day in and day out, working in the forest around the reservoirs.
I've had a few people come to me and ask me, is the situation being overhyped by the media? And the message from me personally is absolutely not. We are definitely staring down the barrel of a potentially very serious water shortage situation.
The past few months have been the driest on record for Auckland, seeing its reservoirs drop below halfway full for the first time since the 1994 water crisis. Since then, levels have teetered between 40 to 45% full, as Watercare, Auckland Council's water company, has scrambled to secure new water sources. Just this week, it used emergency powers to draw a further 15 million litres of water a day from the Waikato River, bringing the total daily pull to 165 million litres. Watercare is also building a new reservoir in Pukekohe and will bring the Hayes Creek Dam back into action by August. But time is running out, and all of these projects will only secure a very small fraction of the more than 400 million litres of water Aucklanders use every day. It's now been 1 month since the Auckland Council introduced mandatory water restrictions across the region, banning outdoor water use. However, just last week, Aucklanders exceeded their daily water usage target 3 times. So just how much does the average Aucklander know?
That the water levels are like maybe half of what they usually are. and we're not getting any rainfall, so that's particularly alarming.
Yeah, it's pretty bad at the moment. Until we get some more rain, I think it's going to get worse.
I've seen the photos on the news of the dam looking pretty low, and my water filter goes brown really quick. So I think because it's so low, it's like getting the mud from the dam.
I was raised up north, and we sort of conserve water religiously because it's, do you know how much tank water is?
Yeah, I'm having shorter showers at the moment. Probably about 4 minutes.
Shorter showers, saving dishwater, sharing showers with my partner.
Watercare is asking Aucklanders to reuse water where possible and only run the washing machine or dishwasher when they're full. But keeping showers to 4 minutes or less is by far the most effective way to keep water consumption down. If you ask David Hurl, he's only got one piece of advice for fellow Aucklanders on town water supply.
Well, try a 2-minute shower. There's a good start.
For Checkpoint, this is Anneke Smith.